Hi everyone, I'm Jim and welcome to the review of Untitled, the 8th studio album by the band Korn. Today we're celebrating the 15th anniversary of it, so I've spent the entire day re-listening to the album to see if it still holds up or not. As you may know from my Requiem review, I've been a Korn fan since 2000-2001. I consider the first 6 Korn albums the best ones. It's always hard for me to choose the best one. I'm always torn between the self-titled, Follow the Leader, and Take a Look in the Mirror. It changes depending on my mood. Anyways, after the first 6 albums, Brian Head Welch left the band in 2004, and the band shitted out See You on the Other Side, which is one of the worst albums ever recorded in human history. The problem with that album was that they've hired help, the Matrix duo, people that wrote music for pop stars like Britney Spears and so on. This made music on See You on the Other Side sound very popish and unbearable to me. The album is basically pop rock music mixed with industrial, gothic and kinda nu metal vibes. Anyways, to me it's an album that killed the entire genre of nu metal. It paved the way for emo and metalcore music to become the mainstream metal stuff. Yeah, See You is basically Adolf Hitler of nu metal. That album only proved one thing, that most of the best Korn music was written by Head, because nothing on See You on the Other Side is interesting. So after the abomination known as See You on the Other Side, David left the band and Korn had to continue as a trio. Jonathan hired some session drummers, Terry and Brooks. Terry is a legend in the music community, and Brooks is an Avenged Sevenfold drummer right now. Jonathan also played drums by himself on some of the songs. He did the same thing on the Issues album, when the producer, Brendan, wanted some more basic grooves and David was annoyed by it. Fans call this album Korn 2, or Evolution, or just Untitled. I guess we should call it Untitled because Korn 3, Remember Who You Are, is a reference to the fact that Korn and Life is Peachy were the first 2 albums produced by Ross Robinson, and Remember Who You Are is a sequel to those albums, because it's also produced by Ross Robinson. So it's not a reference to this album being called Korn 2. It's just Untitled. It's like they didn't even bother with the name. At least they bothered with writing interesting music, which they haven't done on See You. The producer of this record is Atticus Ross. He is known as the frequent collaborator with Trent Reznor of 9 Inch Nails. We have Terry on most of the songs on drums, then we have Brooks, we have Jonathan on 2 songs. The mixing is done by a few people. We have Terry Date, best known from his work with Deftones, on 4 songs. We have Alan Moulder. My favorite part of this record is the fact that, as you can see, the songs were written by Korn and also The Matrix, but Matrix departed in the early process of creating songs. Fuck The Matrix. I love the movie, but this pop duo sucks ass and I don't want them anywhere near any metal music. Guitarist Monkey noted that the band re-recorded much of the Matrix tracks with Atticus Ross, which is a good thing. I don't even want to know how those songs sounded when the Matrix got their shitty hands on them. Also, this could have been an album where only Terry is on drums, but his greed made the band kick him out. He wanted 25% of royalties. This led to Joey Jordison of Slipknot touring with Korn in 2007, which must have been a fun thing because you can see those lives online and Joey is just playing everything faster with blast beats and it's beautiful. I love Joey, rest in peace. Without further ado, let's begin the review. Here's my setup. The production is tight, it's very industrial and primal. There's a lot of room to hear those intricacies of guitars and bass. I like it. It kinda sounds hollow in some parts, but I enjoy it. The message is diverse, each song is about a different subject. The structure of the songs is basic, nothing fancy here. Now let's rate individual songs. The album starts with an intro. It's very circus-like. I don't enjoy it. 4 out of 10. Starting Over is a beautiful song. I really enjoy the vocals here. Jonathan is on fire. He sounds like on Untouchables. I love the guitars, the weird nu metal melodies. I am very happy with this record. Almost all of the songs here sound like industrial metal mixed with nu metal without any pop sensibilities that were present on See You. It makes me happy that the singing is sounding like normal, nice Jonathan singing. The song is about Jonathan's disease, where he would bleed a lot and he was sure that God wants to kill him or some shit, so that's the meaning of the song. Beautiful track, 11 out of 10. Bitch We Got a Problem has that Trent Reznor vibe. Jonathan is playing on drums here, he's killing it. I love this song, I love the keyboard, I love the weird guitars. The bass is slightly audible, not as much as on the previous Korn albums, but it's okay. Which one of you is into me? I like everything about this song, the chorus, the verses especially. The bridge is kinda dragging it down, but it's almost a perfect song. 9 out of 10, great vibes. Evolution is a single, it has a great message that we are advancing our technologies, but inside we're just humans with basic desires. I like it, I love the instrumental here, and Jonathan singing is like on Untouchables, beautiful. 11 out of 10, legendary song. Hold On is another single, it has a funny music video. The song is great, I have nothing against it. It has a nice vibe, nice changes within the verses, the singing everywhere is perfect. 10 out of 10. This is a song that is very unusual for Korn because it's basically a romantic ballad, but it's actually nice. The singing is on point, it's not annoying in any way, it doesn't sound forced or puppish. There is some symphony here in the background sometimes. One of my exes really enjoyed this song, she said it's the best Korn song. I don't agree with that statement, but I really dig this song. It's very sad and depressive, but sounds nice. 8 out of 10. Do What They Say is a song that I always forget about, and when I listen to it, all of those memories are coming back to me, because the chorus is on fire, Jonathan is singing his heart out, but below the singing there are some growls and screams. When you're listening to this stuff on headphones, you can hear it audibly, and it's beautiful. I love this mix of singing, screaming and growling at the same time. Just do what they say. Do what they say. It's beautiful. I mean, I have goosebumps when I hear this shit. The verses are great, it has that dark, depressive atmosphere. It reminds me kinda of Government Control on some level, like 1984, that Orwell book. I don't know why, but it just gives me those vibes and I dig it. Again, a beautiful experiment that paid off. 10 out of 10. Ever Be is a first diss track song aimed towards Head. Jonathan felt betrayed by his ex-band member because Head said some very awful things to the press when he left Korn, that they've basically ruined his life, shit like that. You know, it was a typical beef and Korn was very mad, so they made this song, and my god, what a song it is. It's beautiful, it's heavy, the lyrics are so full of anger and sincere. These lyrics are really reminding me of the 6th Korn album, Take a Look in the Mirror, the songs Counting on Me, I'm Done, and When Will This End. Everby has those vibes, very sincere and full of emotions and anger, singing and lyrical content. I love every part of this song, the instrumental is beautiful, Terry is killing it on drums here. There's even a small little part in the middle of the song that is a throwback to the first 3 Korn albums, and even Fieldy does his typical clank on the bass for a small second. It's a nice touch, I'm sure most of you have discovered it by now, it's been 15 years, but I just love it. 11 out of 10. Love and Luxury is the second and final diss track, aimed towards Head. They're making fun of his book, like he shitted on them in it. Later, that turned out to be false. Someone spread a false rumor that Head was shitting on Korn, and they got angry and they made this song, and he sent them the copies of his book with a written apology. So I guess they've made amends after this album was released. But still, this song is a travesty. I am pretty sure this song was written mostly by the Matrix production, because it really sounds like Britney Spears on some shit when it comes to the vocals. The instrumental is very weird. It would have fitted on See You on the Other Side perfectly, because it's a third. It's a shit. It's shit. 2 out of 10. Next stuff we have is Innocent Bystander. It's a really good song, I enjoy every part of it. The verses, the chorus, the singing is on point, no puppy bullshit. The instrumental work is nice, I really love the bridge here. The bridge is the best part of this song. There's nothing I hate about this track, 10 out of 10. Killing is a highlight of this album, it's the heaviest song on it. It has the most amount of growls and screaming. The lyrical content about this song is how we stay in toxic relationships longer than we should have, and it's sang in a metaphorical way about birds sitting on a energy lines or some shit, getting shot down by dudes, and the bird is staring at the barrel of the gun and he doesn't escape, he's just waiting there. It's just an allegory to how we stay in those toxic relationships basically. But the singing, the screaming here is on point, and the instrumental, it's beautiful. Most of the instrumentals here remind me of that video game Alice. Like, I don't know if you have played it, American McGee's Alice. It was released in 2000 I think, based on Alice in Wonderland, and this album has that vibe of that game. I really enjoy it. This song is beautiful, I love every second of it. The chorus, the bridge especially, everything is perfect here. 11 out of 10. Hushabai is the weakest song on the record with Kiss. I am not a big fan of the chorus here, but everything else is on point. I love the bass, the drums, the guitars, the atmosphere, it's very heavy. Just the chorus is kinda repetitive and blunt to me, so 8 out of 10. And the final song on the standard edition, I Will Protect You. It was written by Jonathan to his children, that someday he's going to die, and his children are going to die, and it's just a circle of life. This is the most proggish song on the record, or in the Korn discography. It really sounds like a mix of nu metal and progressive rock. I love the verses here the most. Guitar melodies in the verses are so beautiful, they create this magical atmosphere. The bass is also great. The drumming by Terry, he's killing it. He has a drum solo in the middle of the song, and it's just wow. But the atmosphere is the best part for me in this track. 11 out of 10. It puts you in a trance. It's a perfect ending to this album. So after this album, Korn did a weird thing. They were paid by Ubisoft to make a song about their shitty game called Haze. Haze was supposed to be a Halo killer game, but it turned out to be a turd. The song is better than the game, but it's still not that great, to be honest. There is a mystery of who played the drums on this song. I've searched all over the web for this information and I've came up with nothing. We can assume that it was Jonathan himself because he wrote this song, but this might be fake, we have no confirmation whenever who played on Haze. The song has great verses, the chorus is fine, it has that genty vibes, I would say. It uses a pitch pedal on the guitar. What I really hate about this song is the solo. I am not sure if Monkey is playing it or Jonathan, because Jonathan made this entire track, but the solo sounds like a retarded Kerry King. from Slayer. It's a disgrace. If it weren't for the repetitions and that awful solo, I would give this song 10 out of 10, but the repetitions and that solo just gets on my nerves. 8 out of 10. It's a great song, but you're going to laugh from that solo. I can play this solo. Just give me guitar, some pedals, and I will just play random notes like blah, 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 and that's Haze solo. Fuck that solo. So yeah, Haze was reissued with the album in 2008 as a bonus track. So yeah, you can find it on the record, but there's also a deluxe edition of Untitled, which has 2 other songs as bonuses, Overture or Obituary and Sing Sorrow. Overture or Obituary has that Depeche Mode vibe. It sounds very old school, I would say, like 80s music stuff. It just reminds me of those vibes. I like the instrumental work the most, the vocals are mostly great, just 8 out of 10. It has that Untouchables vibe. Can you imagine Korn saying before releasing the Paradigm Shift that this album is going to be the same as Untouchables, and they've been saying that shit, that they are going to that glory of Untouchables since like 2012, 2013 on each album, but Untitled is actually the album that sounds the most like Untouchables because it's very experimental. Overture or Obituary could have been on Untouchables with a better production, and you wouldn't bat an eye, you would be like, oh, it fits here perfectly. And the final song, Sing Sorrow, there are 2 versions of this track. The first one is called Once Upon a Time, and the final version is Sing Sorrow. What are the differences between these two? Well, only the vocals. The instrumental is the same in both versions. It's very beautiful, great chorus, great verses, and when it comes to the singing, Sing Sorrow is a song about people that are tired of depression and sadness. It's a song for them to vent their frustrations. The singing is beautiful. I love the verses and the chorus especially, but Once Upon a Time is the same song with a totally different singing and vocal melodies, and yet it also fits perfectly. It's so weird hearing the same instrumental on 2 songs, but the lyrics are about different things and the vocal melodies are totally different, so it sounds like an alternative timeline, I would say. Alternate timeline? What the hell, man? It's beautiful. I love it. I love both of those songs. 10 out of 10 to both of them. I think Sing Sorrow has better chorus, but Once Upon a Time has better verses, kinda. But both of the tracks have the same bridge. This reminds me of the song Medicate by the band Flow. On their second album, Endangered Species from 2004, they had a song, Medicate, as an opener, but a leaked demo version from a year prior was released, and it had totally different lyrics and vocal lines, and it was the same thing as here. Both versions were perfect, but so different at the same time. And before we end rating the songs, I also want to mention that in 2008 Korn released a cover of Kidnap the Sandy Claus. It was released on Nightmare Revisited or something, a compilation of Disney songs. It's an interesting take on a cover, check it out if you want. It was the first song with Ray on drums. It's just a small little fact for all of you, if you haven't heard about it. It's fine, it's better than original for sure. I would give it 9 out of 10. So, let's go back to reviewing the entire record. The consistency is stable. Most of the songs are beautiful. I would only remove Intro and Love and Luxury. They suck ass. The flow is fitting, just skip those 2 songs like I said. Replayability, hell yeah, it's a great record. It's way better than The Nothing, Requiem, and of course See You and The Paradigm Shift. Those are fucking abominations, no one wants to hear that. Also, it's better than the dubstep album. I don't know if it's better than Serenity of Suffering, they might be on the same levels. Still, I recommend this record, check it out, you're not going to be disappointed if you have an open mind. While the experiment known as See You failed on every line, This one did not. It's an overlooked gem that everyone should listen to and see if they find anything interesting about it. I think this album works especially if you are depressed or having a bad day. So if it was me, I would just remove intro and Love and Luxury. I would replace Love and Luxury with Sing Sorrow and intro with Haze, because why not? Thank you for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next review. Bye!